Hey everybody, just want to say big thanks again for liking my videos. I know they're not great, but it is what it is. I'm no videographer. I just finished sorting out all the bolts and the hardware for the R6 engine. So I'm going to do some videos now of me putting it back together and what it all looks like. I'll talk about what I've done with the Cerakote on the bolts and the vapor blasting on the crankcases. So hope you enjoy, and thanks very much. Right, so all of the casings, sump, cam cover gasket have all been Cerakoted in the colour that I mixed up in the other video. I've also done all of the bolts that hold the crankcase together in this colour. It's E series, which is the super tough one. It's called Moss. Very, very good replication of what green zinc plating would look like. I did Google it just so that I sort of was where I needed to be, but it's come out really, really well. I'm really pleased with it. Done both sides. I know you don't see any of that, but it's also to protect the bolt. If you're putting this on a bike, obviously they're subject to weather conditions, water and stuff, salty, gritty rubbish on the road. So, and all the bolts for the casings, covers, are all stainless steel. I've given them a quick polish this morning just so they look nice. So yeah, I'm gonna put the crankcases together first. I vapor blasted the top bit that was really horrible and manky. So yeah. Right, that's a few of the crankcase bolts in. I haven't put them all in because I want to just push on and get this done. But you can see they've all been torqued up. None of them have chipped. Nice and neat and tidy. Got the sump on. Gives you an idea of what the colour looks like against the freshly vapor blasted aluminium of the block. Looks pretty good. Crack on and get the side casings on now. So that's the side casings and the sump on with the stainless steel bolts. Looks pretty good now. Bit of road rash. It is 20 odd years old. Looks pretty good. Really pleased with it. Don't forget, this is just a display engine. There's probably motorbike engine builders out there going, oh my God, what have you done? You're using the wrong bolts. It is literally just to show what we do. This is not a built engine. It is just a display engine. Just quickly while I remember, you'll see that the bottom half casing is slightly different shade to the top half casing. And that's because the bottom half, what we tend to do when stuff's really corroded or if it's painted, we mask everything off and then dry blast it with aluminium oxide very gently, and it gets rid of all the oxidation. So this one was done, dry blasted, and then we vapor blasted it with glass bead. But this piece, we changed over to ceramic bead in February. And that's because ceramic bead leaves a much better finish. And not only that, it lasts so much longer. So although it's really expensive stuff, we don't have to have the fuss of keep changing the media all the time. And as long as we keep our tank nice and clean, which we have to for some of our bigger customers, some of the sort of batch stuff that we blast for them, it gives a consistent finish. So you'll see there's a noticeable difference between this one and this one. This is a lot sort of more of a shinier aluminium as opposed to a raw aluminium, and it just looks nicer. So there you go, that's the crankcase all built up with the side casings on. I hope you've enjoyed watching these videos. Like I say, I'm no professional at this, so feel free to take the mickey out of me, but please don't take the mickey out of our work, because a lot of time and effort goes into this, and it's not easy. It's quite time consuming. We try our very best to get things done efficiently, but sometimes jobs take longer than others. We'll do the degreasing if you can't do it. Obviously, everything that we vapor blast or dry blast, we don't tend to vapor blast or dry blast the inside of engine blocks or anything, cylinder heads or anything like that, because it can damage things, especially with the dry blaster. It removes substrate. So unless you ask us to do it, then we won't. Everything gets protected. I don't blast any gasket surfaces, and when I quote for a job, we factor in preparation of gasket surfaces and sealing surfaces, because the last thing you want is to give us a piece, we blast it and then give it back to you, and then you've got to scrape off all the old gasket or the old sealant. You run the risk of damaging something that we've already done, and it's really difficult, if not impossible, to replicate vapor blasting. Same with Cerakoting. If we get a side casing, we will actually degasket it, clean it all up, make sure that it's a perfect sealing surface, so that when you get it back, all you really have to do is give everything another little flush out. Again, we do flush things out, but the nature of the beast is, when it's in our little shed, unfortunately, there are particles of media that get transferred around the workshop, and it can go in where you don't want it to. So we always say to people, give everything another clean out afterwards. So yeah, we've also got a YouTube channel. Again, you don't have to subscribe to it. I don't really care that much. It's just to show what we do. If somebody Googles us and it comes up on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, it's there to see. But don't feel obliged to subscribe to anything, and you don't feel obliged to like any of our videos either. It doesn't really bother me that much. It's just, again, showing people what we do. So yeah, hope everybody has a nice Christmas and a New Year. And again, I know I say it, but thanks very much for watching my videos and liking them. I'm going to have a bit of a break now, well deserved. It's been a busy old year. So yeah, thanks very much. Take care.